Hi, I'm Carolyn Lovewell.
And I'm Laila Matthews.
We changed our names. We need to update the podcast.
Oh yeah.
Anyways,
we should come out as trad wife, just anti-feminists right now.
You're listening to the Sleepover podcast, and Layla's feeling very trad wifey today because I
just gave over control of all my finances to my wonderful husband because I didn't want to fight about it anymore, and now I feel free and liberated in a way that I never did when I had to think about all that shit myself.
Yeah, it's amazing. I'm very proud of you, Layla. I made the same decision with David. I just gave him control over everything because it was freaking exhausting. And both Layla and I have an inner Tony Soprano, Saturn and Scorpio.
Oh yeah.
Who makes us want to hoard money and not trust anyone.
So stingy. I was basically having my animus was going to battle with my husband. And I was just like, I can't live like this. I don't like this. And actually the threshold that got crossed was this morning. He was being too nice and attentive to my animus and completely neglecting me as a luscious, beautiful woman creature. And I was like, oh no. We cannot have our inner masculine hogging all of the attention away from me. That can't happen. This guy needs to go. I am straight jealous of my masculine right now. And so I just took away all his power by giving all control of my money to my husband because I guess we're already married, so why not?
Yeah. I just want to be clear, though. Layla and I are like 1980s trad wives. That's the tradition to which we are referring. It's the tradition of microwave popcorn and Diet Coke. And neon pink
fluorescent leggings, going to the gym, drinking Diet Coke, playing with our children at night in a playground, which is where we are right now.
That's where we are right now. That's what we're doing. That's how we keep it traditional around here. But I was just explaining to Layla because Layla doesn't pay attention to the news. She doesn't give a shit about politics or anything.
No.
And I was just excitedly telling her about the Russell Brand scandal. And to me, it's very resonant with the Lizzo scandal that recently went down. And I was trying to not talk about either of them because I know what
hot button issue
is very hot, very sensitive subjects.
The court of public opinion is what we started talking about, and that's when we decided we would get in front of all of you
and subject ourselves
to the court of public opinion because it seems scary what happens.
Well, it's a scary world where anybody can make an accusation, and I'll just say I think the accusation that's been made against Russell Brand that he had non-consensual sex with the woman he was dating. That sounds like that happened to me. That I don't doubt that. That seems like something that he would do in his drug-addicted, sex-addicted phase. And anyhow, I see the plausibility of that. I'm not denying that. And all the stuff with Lizzo and what she was... Whatever. I don't even know. It sounds plausible enough that they would have done that. But the thing is, it's just, there's been no trial, no evidence, no judge, no jury. Just the mere fact that the allegations can be made and somebody's career just ends. Their credibility just ends. If they're in a certain position. There's other people that they can be allegations against, and yet nothing
happens at all.
Nothing stops. There's been, people have made allegations against Joe Biden, but nothing happens. And, I don't know. So it's just this interesting thing where it seems like these accusations, complaints can just be levied. And then it just scares me that our society just works like that, I guess is what I'm saying. That everybody, because I read all of the comments on Lizzo's Instagram. I was just I don't know, it was a sick compulsive thing I did one night. I spent 2 hours just reading people commenting on Lizzo's Instagram about what an evil abuser she is based on the claims in this suit made by people that she fired. I guess she fired them because she thought they weren't keeping up with the pace of the tour. They were drinking and partying too much and not like being focused dancers was her side of the story. Anyhow, just as somebody who has a media presence and who runs a business and who knows how
easy it is to misinterpret and easy it is to just say whatever. Like, people can just say whatever.
Yes, anybody can say anything. People make up their own realities constantly. They
True.
floridly hallucinate what's going on.
Yes.
Even like, I'm pretty sure, because I read a lot of the text of the actual suit that was made against Lizzo, and there was a piece that in the media kept saying over and over again, fat shaming, Lizzo fat shamed this person. But like what it was the person said, Lizzo told me that I wasn't working hard enough, and I knew that meant that she thought that I was too fat. And they just took that as like, it was just like the woman's interpretation of what Lizzo said became fat shaming. And then the media over and over again said Lizzo fat shamed this person, which doesn't even make sense. It doesn't make any sense. Lizzo is a big girl. Her whole thing is body positivity. It makes zero sense.
Well, but that's why it's so juicy and compelling, Carolyn. That's why it feeds the piranhas of hate and like suspicion inside people, because you take this like icon of, fat positivity, Lizzo, and then you're like, screech, 180 degrees. She was fat shaming someone. And that's just like so fascinating and compelling. Like, we can't believe anything. We can't believe any way that people are, because like even the most wonderful icons of like things that we care about behind the scenes are doing evil and abusing people and shaming them.
Right. And anybody who read because I also was weird and compulsive and read like 30 news stories about this from, all various publications. And none of them were quoting the actual part of the suit that I had read that was being interpreted as the fat shaming piece. They were just saying fat shame over and over again. And so anybody who wasn't a super weirdo and didn't take the time to read the actual suit like I did would have no way of knowing that Lizzo didn't say, hey, you fat pig, get off my dance stage. She said, hey, I think you're not taking this tour seriously enough. You're not working hard enough. And the woman interpreted that as like, I know what she really means. She means I'm too fat. What? Like,
I know, but isn't that just how the mind fucking works, Carolyn?
And that is how the mind works.
And it is, and I will agree with you that it is deeply upsetting to see how, as a general civilization, we're just like, oh yeah, she totally fat shamed you because you thought that she did. That's true. And like, we'll write newspaper articles about your interpretation and how you felt, and like that's reality. And now Lizzo is an evil person who should have no social credibility whatsoever.
Right. Well, so that happened, and again, like, Russell Brand has spoken very openly about being a sex addict, being a drug addict. I'm not trying to make any kind of sexual abuse. It's not good. It's not okay. But it's like, I believe that he did things like that. And also, that was like 20 years ago. And somebody who experienced that sort of horrible treatment from him, that crime, should receive amends, apologies, maybe money, whatever is needed to like make it right. But the whole idea is being spun up that like, okay, this woman says he did that. He probably did that. Now he's completely invalid. Nobody should ever listen to him ever.
He's worthless.
His past 20 years of recovery, his family, his spirituality, his perspective, his thoughts, completely annihilated by something terrible that he did decades ago. And like that does not sit well with me either, because again, like, it's like, have you met a human being? Like, human beings have done terrible things. Like,
have you ever been a human being? Like, have you ever noticed that you can do bad stuff, like pretty bad, and then grow and change and learn?
Exactly.
And not do bad stuff anymore?
Exactly. And it was just like, I also watched, because I am a weirdo, I watched the Channel 4 UK documentary that was made about this. Documentary in quotes, because it was actresses speaking these allegations that had been made. So like they had, as if they were interviewing these women, but they were
not the real women,
because the real women themselves were not being interviewed. At least in one of the cases, I may be forgetting it, but at least one of them was an actress. It's like black and white. There's like sinister
Well,
music.
and, you know, that's
it's like
so
this
interesting.
theatrical presentation to be like, oh, the evil side of Russell Brand, who's just been running rampant in the world, doing evil.
Well, isn't that so interesting to consider, like, when you think about the things that we've learned from Dr. Robert about, like, the contents of the mind and, like, the submodalities
and the
representations of how things, like, what things mean and how things are, like, deeply impacted by things like sinister music, black and white, graininess, you know, like, that is not just an artistic choice. That is, like, a meaningful transmission to the mind so that it knows
right,
that was just a really bad, awful thing that happened, regardless of the content.
And that it's a documentary, so like there's the implication that like this is somehow proven, this is somehow documented. All that's documented are allegations, and again, I'm saying they do seem like probable allegations to me, given that he was a movie star and admittedly super into sex and drugs and probably didn't know what he was doing, probably was not sensitive or present with a goodly amount of the people that he was with. And maybe other times he was, I don't know, but it's just like the man is not convicted of anything. And it troubles me that, like, yeah, he's just been dropped. His tour has been canceled. His, YouTube has been demonetized. Like, it seems to me like it is a calculated attempt to silence him because he's been very vocal about very politically intense things that aren't often being spoken about, like, all of the stuff with Big Pharma and the vaccines that weren't sufficiently vetted or tested before they were unleashed on a population, all of the things with BlackRock buying up all the houses and the real estate, so like it's pretty soon it's going to become impossible for like regular people to buy houses. Everybody will only be able to rent from like BlackRock owned companies, stuff like that is quite real and relevant, and that the mainstream news outlets will not discuss. He's also interviewed people like Whitney Webb, who anybody who listens knows that Whitney Webb is a personal hero of mine. Like, he has given a platform to her to speak about the like really intense web of sexual blackmail that makes the world go round.
Right, and who gives a shit about that?
Right. Well, exactly. The mainstream media certainly doesn't.
Right, isn't that so interesting? I mean, I feel like that's just so compelling.
There was a list of people on Jeffrey Epstein's like frequent flyer list who flew to his island, and that the government has that list and it's not being released. But this stuff is getting, like, they made the big thing about he dated a girl who was 16, which is the legal age of consent in the UK, and he was apparently an asshole, controlling boyfriend who was like, the woman says in retrospect he was grooming me. And like, yeah, an older 30-year-old man dating a 16-year-old, that's sketchy, that's gross. Yeah. I wouldn't want my daughter dating an older man. Also, I totally dated sketchy older men when I was that age. Anyhow, like, what I'm saying is, like, yes, that... But it wasn't, that's not even a crime.
Well,
so there was one allegation of a crime woven in with other allegations of just being a sketchy creep.
Yeah.
And all to make it seem like, but the way that it's spoken of in the media also is as if all four of these women are accusing him of rape, which they're not. Three of them are basically just accusing him of being a creep.
Well, I think the thing that you're really, if I understand you correctly, Carolyn, I think the thing that feels the yuckiest about it is that there are some people who have committed crimes in the past that we know about. Basically, like, some people can commit crimes and it is totally not okay to speak their name, associate with them, agree with them, listen to their media, care about their causes. And then there are some people who can commit the same crimes or worse fucking crimes, and they are respected elders of our civilization. And that's fucking weird. That's fucked up.
It's
and
a level of psychotic dissonance.
It's the level of psychotic dissonance, because I think what the real psychotic dissonance that happens is that when, like, listeners like you and me, you know, like, let's just say I casually mention Russell Brand among civilized company, and they're like, oh my God, Laila, don't you know he's a rapist? And then I'm like, oh, sorry. And then I mention President Joe Biden. And people are like, yeah, that's totally okay. He's just, he's our president. He's the guy. Yeah, of course. We salute, respect. Yeah. And, like, you're not, like, shamed for being associated with that name or being, like, led by that person. Like, it's fucked up.
Yeah, it's weird. And this also gets, I mean, the same sort of theme, but, like, this past week I made a meme actually using the beautiful picture of Bill Murray on your mantle altar.
Bill Murray is one of my personal saints, and I do pray to him daily.
Yeah. And I took a photo of it, and I made a little meme, and I was like, Bill Murray answers all prayers. It just might not be the answer you're looking for. I thought it was awesome. Oh, that's hearing a little voice. That's Brucey, Layla's son.
He's telling me he's tired.
Oh, we can go soon. I'll just...
Tell about Bill Murray, because
Anyways,
I love Bill Murray, even if he's an asshole. Like,
right. So Bill
I'm
Murray
an asshole.
has, and I knew this, like, he had allegations of, like, I think, what's her name? Gina? Can't remember her last name. Anyways, actresses have accused him of harassing them, and I knew this. And somebody commented on my meme of Bill Murray the Saint, like, Bill Murray is a piece of shit. Blah, 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 blah. And anyhow... I just was like, what? Like, we are all pieces of shit up God's ass. Like, yes, newsflash, human beings are horny, clueless, insensitive, gross, violating. Like, and that's what makes them human. Have you ever met another... Anyways, it doesn't make him a piece of shit. It makes him a human being. He, like, gave Gina Davis. He apologized. He gave $100,000 to a woman who accused him of harassment. Anyways, what else can you do? Like, if you fucked up, like, apologize and give somebody $100,000.
Yeah, I mean, like, right. I mean, and I think, you know, people would say, like, well, $100,000 doesn't account for it, but, like, truly think about if you had to pay every single person for every wrong thing you've ever done, like... we would all be massively indebted.
Anyways, I just don't like this idea of, like, people become pieces of shit as soon as they have hurt somebody. Like, they've hurt somebody, and that's wrong, and they should make amends, and their balance and justice should be brought. But that doesn't make... Nobody's
irredeemable. You don't believe in irredeemability.
I do not. I believe in... redemption and second chances and recovery and
the possibility of something even better and more wonderful and things getting better and better. Like, but this like culture of, like, oh, we found out 20 years ago you were an asshole. Fast forward, now you're an asshole today.
And now we're going to use that to destroy you and silence you. Like, now I'm curious, like, now that this thing has happened with Russell, now I'm like, well, what did Lizzo do to piss somebody off and, like, bring upon this, like, media Armageddon? Like, maybe Lizzo was onto something deep. I don't know. I am paranoid myself, I guess. I'm a little bit scared myself, like...
We're scared right now making this episode.
Right. I'm scared to say that I still like Russell Brand, and I'm scared, and it's like the fact that, and I was thinking this today, I was like, wow, it's fucked up that I have to be scared to say that about a man who has been convicted of nothing, not tried, nothing, no charges brought. It's such an Orwellian, like, Brave New World that even to say that I like him, there's gonna be somebody's gonna comment and be like, Carolyn is a rapist sympathizer. Carolyn just loves rapists. I always knew that Carolyn would do anything. Carolyn just defends and apologizes for rapists. And that's not what I'm saying. It's never okay. It's not okay. And also, humans are just monkeys. We're just pathetic monkeys. And if you haven't realized that, like, I don't know, I guess, how can you have any compassion or any, like, grace for your own sexual existence, if you can't see that, like, we make mistakes and violate, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't.
100%. I mean, forgiveness is a virtue that is kind of lacking in the general world. That's why, you know, I just really truly relish people being more honest about how fucking weird they are, because then it just makes it harder to set yourself in like such stark contrast with these so-called evildoers and like condemn them and become a like angry mob who's also possessed by evil and hate. Like,
So maybe I'll just say, like, I am a criminal sympathizer. I just sympathize with criminals. I find them so relatable. Like, I guess I find myself very criminal. Like, very,
That's the inner Tony Soprano talking.
Yes, I do. I have my inner Tony Soprano is scared that he too will be canceled.
Yes. Yes.
But I guess I just felt like speaking about it because I just feel like there is like, I've heard, I don't know how to say this, but like I just feel like if I don't say anything about this, I feel like I am just contributing to the, like, I can't dare have my name be associated with Russell Brand because he's become a evil doer non-entity by fiat of the Channel 4 pseudo documentary. And like, I don't want to live in fear of the Channel 4 pseudo documentaries with the sinister music and like have my range of thought. I just don't want to kowtow to that.
Yeah, you don't want to live in that black and white world that they were portraying in the pseudo documentary.
Yes. So if you're listening to this and you've experienced violation in your life and it's just very painful for you to hear that I could have any sympathy or understanding for Russell Brand and his violating nature, or Lizzo and her terrible, abusive, violating nature, completely unproven, no charges brought. I don't know. You can go, feel free to hate me and feel violated by me too, but I love you. I think that you're perfect and wonderful and innocent.
And we're sorry that happened. In an ideal world, that would
never happen
in an
to
ideal world,
anybody.
it would not.
I've experienced, we were just talking about how we've both experienced violations of that kind and how they are certainly terrible.
Are you trying to think of a story?
Yeah.
And we need to wrap up because we're at the playground and Brucey is getting tired. But
I'll show you.
Yeah.
thank you for joining me in this terrifying conversation that I might not publish.
This heretical discourse.
Okay. Good night. Good night. Oh, by the way, Sleepover Mystery School is happening. Sleepover Mystery School. We gotta get the marketing plug in here. We're doing an invocation of Babylon, the Holy Virgin Whore Goddess.
Holy Virgin Whore Mother.
And we're doing that on Monday, and the link for that is in my Instagram bio, and also you can join my email list at carolyngraceelliott.com. Soon we're going to update to a new website with my new name, but that's what we got right now. Also, applications are open for Sleepover Mystery School, so you can go to carolyngraceelliott.com/SOMS, SOMS, and fill out the application. The applications are only going to be open until September 28th, and we're on a first come first serve basis. We can only take 60 people. We have a lot of applications coming in already, so get your application in if you want to be considered. You can also click the Instagram link in my bio to see a replay of Pillow Talk, where we did a virtual open house for Sleepover Mystery School. So you can check that out, and you can see our initiates live talking about their experience. Whoops. Okay, and now everybody's fussy, so I'm going to go. Have a good night, everybody.